Yo, what's going on, guys? This is the build that I decided to use for most of the video, but this is the other one that I was using at the start of the video. And I switched over because I felt like small dinos were really getting to me when I was using the build that I'm using right now in this gameplay. It was great for fighting apexes and rexes, but yeah, it really struggled against the smaller dinos. For me, because you don't really have a tail attack. You do, but it's automatic and it's every 30 seconds. It's not like it does a lot of damage. I'm quickly going to go into the gameplay real quick. I've seen that these guys were fighting, and there's no point in me trying to fight a Suko, so I attacked the Rex instead. I just third-partied this. As you know, the Suko can get in the water and it's faster, whereas the Rexes are also in Apex and can't really get away from me. But yeah. So I'm not teaming up with this Suko or anything. Yeah, I'm just taking whatever fight I can. Now I'm gonna go over the build and the reason for the build and stuff like that, and also go over the gameplay. But yeah, we're starting off with the passives. The first one is Armored Skull, and it's pretty much just you take no extra damage from head attacks, which doesn't really matter when you're using block. But if you're using the other build, then yeah. I mean, well, it does, because one of the senses for block doesn't activate unless it gets hit on the head, which is really weird. But yeah. And then your second passive is Ironclad. Hugh status effect is 100% faster. That's like bone breaking stuff. But yeah, so that just means that you've got a lot better what's it called? Heal stats effects. But yeah, moving on to the head slot, I just use the quick headbutt. It causes high damage and it doesn't use any stamina. And then I use block, negates damage of an incoming attack if it connects with the head, neck or front of the body. Uses stamina when activated. So no matter where you get hit, the block counts as a block. So you don't have any weak spots on your whole entire body. And then the reason I use block is because the eel's not fast and it doesn't have really, like, realistically outside of the charge, it doesn't really have any kill potential unless someone makes a mistake. So yeah, a lot of dinos have like charge up attacks. For example, the Dasp has piercing bite, heavy bite, bone snap, same as the Strato has that, just stuff like that. And you just practically take no damage while blocking, so it's really good. That's why I like block, unlike some dinos that can run away, whereas EO's just like a stationary target. That's the thing, that's why block is so good, because a lot of the time you're going to be standing in position. But yeah, and then your other option for the head is your head slam, a slamming headbutt attack that costs stamina and deals high damage, which is pretty good, but I just felt like it wasn't very good against a bunch of small dinos, because of just, you know, the lack of kill potential. Obviously you do a lot of damage, but when, like, you know, you have to protect yourself, and that's not really going to protect you from people tail riding you. And I'll get onto that in a bit. Also, block does use stamina to use. Now for the sense, I use the Horn Lock, gain a 20% increase in armor for 30 seconds for each hit received while you're using block, and it stacks up to 5 times. And anytime you get hit, it refreshes the stack. So you can be 5 out of 5, and then if somebody hits it, it goes right back up to 5. So yeah, you don't have to worry about getting it all the way back up again. Another thing about Horn Lock that is very important, you have to be getting hit on the head. And a good thing about this though is that when small raptors pounce on you, like the front bit, sometimes it will count as the head while you're blocking. So it just gives you like so many stacks. If you're a little raptor, try not to pounce on the front of an eel, because you're just giving them 100% increased armor easily. So yeah. And then your other options are the sharpened horns. So I use sharpened horns if I'm not using block. So sharpen your horns on the ground and it increases your damage output for 60 seconds. It's pretty good for damage, but yeah, since I'm playing block, I want to play into block. And then your last option is Frilled Bond. Increases damage by 7.5% and armor by 7.5% to yourself and any Ceratopians, so Trikes in your group, so Albert and Styrak, and then another eel within 50 meters, and it stacks up to 4 times. Only problem is the Hornlock just gives you so much armor that it's not worth over Frilled Bond. So yeah, moving on to the metabolism, it's kind of up to you. Herbivore is what I use, able to eat berries and fruit, moderate food drain. Just the slower your food and water drain is, or even the more food and water you have, the faster your health recovers. So yeah, and then your other options, forager, able to eat flowers, nuts, roots, fruit, and faster food drain. So yeah, moving on to the hide, I use Bony Frill. Block now uses 50% less stamina and has 2 times increased damage resistance. So block never really made you take a lot of damage, but now you take completely 0 damage, so it's amazing, and you use way less stamina. So it's just amazing against fighting small dinos. Another really cool thing is when people pounce on you, block still counts. So people can pounce on top of you and you just block and you take like 0 damage. You see me do it often in the video when things pounce onto me, especially Achilles or small raptors. Your other option is the Honed Edge, and this is what I would use for damage EO. Sharpened Horns now has a faster cooldown and provides a larger damage increase and costs less stamina to use. So that's building into Sharpened Horns. But yeah. Your last option is Headstrong. Attacks that hit your head now provide 1 stack of Headstrong for 30 seconds. Upon reaching 10 stacks, you grant yourself and all group members within 50 meters a full Headstrong buff that reduces sprint and stamina cost by 100% for 20 seconds, and you gain 4 stacks instead of 1 if you were using block when hit. So the problem with this is, so you don't take any less damage and you don't make any more damage. And the problem with this is you're an EO, you're not really trying to run away from anything else besides other apexes, and even then you're not really good at that, especially like Tyranno Titans and just Land Duck, for example. So Headstrong just isn't that good. It's probably the worst option out of all of them. Now moving on to the leg slot, I use Overrun. Improves your charge turning rate and reduces its stamina cost by 50%, which I think is pretty nice, and there's nothing crazy about this one, but the problem is the leg slot in general for the EO is just lacking, as the other slots other options I'm gonna tell you right now is Backlash. When attacked from the rear, so behind you, automatically retaliate with a tail attack that causes light damage and knockback. And I've seen a lot of people tail ride EOs and it just doesn't activate. I'm pretty sure it takes like 30 seconds to activate again, so it's just very bad and it doesn't do enough damage. And then your last slot is Strong Legs. You take 60% less knockback and 15% increased fracture healing, which is alright, but Overrun just seems the best option. And then your last for your back limb, you only have 1 option, and it's Charge. And the further away you charge from, the more damage you do, and it also just gives you a speed increase. So yeah. And I'm going to talk about subspecies, which I should have done in the first part of the video. But either way, I use a +3 attack damage subspecies. As you know, I just want to do as much damage as I can, as I'm not running away from anything. I'm just standing and fighting. And the other option is Fracture Healing, 10%, which just, I mean, the thing about block is if you get fractured, you can just block long enough. Well, not really fractured, but bone broke, because when you get bone broke, you're immune to bone break. And for the time that you are bone broke, you can just use the block to just take practically 0 damage, and while that's going on, you just, you know, block. Once it's off, you can, you know, get out of the way again. So fracture healing just doesn't seem that good. And then your last option is 10% stam recovery, which also just isn't that good because you're not trying to run away from anything. It is nice, but the plus 3% attack damage might just get you the kill on smaller things, and just fighting against other Apexes is going to make that difference between those hits. But yeah. Now I'm going to go into gameplay a little bit, and just other little things, but yeah. I could have played this a little bit better. I got a little bit confident, and I just wasn't timing my blocks correctly. So, you know, it just, what's it called? No, I just messed up here. But either way, I put up a good fight against 2 Amagas, which I can't run away from, so there's no point in trying that. I could have played ultra defensively and, you know, made it incredibly hard for these guys to win, but at the same time I want to make it fun for myself and just for the video as well, because it's no fun sitting in a corner, even though I know that's what I'm doing right now, but it's not intentionally that I backed up to this corner. It's more just like these guys pressuring me into it, and also you see me come out and stuff. But yeah, another thing is you do want to recharge that horn lock when you can, because if you don't, you're going to start losing stacks. So yeah, but it doesn't really matter between 4 and 5 because you just block one time and get it back. So yeah. Now right here, I get both of these guys really low. I should have kept trying to hit the other one, this one right here, the grey one, but I kind of messed up. Should have just committed. Anyway, I wanted to show something really cool here. You can see my friend waystones me and he's fighting a circle, and my friend said don't really cross the water as you're going to take a lot of damage and probably die, and I said I'm just going to go for it. And I've not really had to do this before, but you can actually block underwater, and you can see me do it here, and I practically take 0 damage from my full charge bite, and I just tank it. So that's a really good thing to remember. Either way, made my way to LBM, and there was a mega pack, and I went for it instantly. You know, what better way to see how good your build is than test it against a mega pack. And you can see they've got a bunch of things. I managed to kill a little Latin, which just, you know, it's nothing crazy, but it's one little pesky raptor out the way. Either way, you can see these guys pounce on me and then they start blocking to take like practically 0 damage, especially with the hide that I use that makes it even better. So yeah. Now obviously you still want to hit back, you don't want to just block all the time. I could have easily went to the water, which I thought about it, but I just wanted to keep it out in the open as these guys weren't really doing too much damage. You know, it wasn't a big issue. But you can see they keep bringing more and more stuff, and I don't really want to be taking heavy bites. I don't want to take charges, stuff like that. I want to block those, and then once they go in for the small hits, that's when I want to trade. Just because I take practically 0 damage when they land any of the big stuff when I'm blocking, but if I didn't, you know, it's not really, even though I still do more damage, I want to have the most survivability as possible. Anyway, you can see they bring a Titan and I instantly go for this guy, and I was hitting him while he was popping his raw. The problem is with the block, not really the block, it's just the height of the eel. Like Rexes and Tyrannotitans, if you don't back up, they'll hit your body, which obviously is still a block, but it won't give you that armor increase because it has to hit your head. So it goes a little bit over the head onto the body, and it just misses out on armor, which is really annoying, but it is what it is. Either way, I could have played this a little bit better. if I just knew this. But yeah, either way, you can see I managed to kill the Tyrannotitan, and you can see these guys are just getting on me, just peppering me the whole time. And honestly, I could easily go to the water and these raptors become useless. And then you can see they have another pick now. But they're gonna end up bringing another Tyrannotitan. So you know, the small stuff isn't the problem, it's this other Tyrannotitan. And I'm just trying to tail ride as much as I can. And I do a decent job of it. But yeah. Surprised this guy isn't juking at all. The U's got a great turn radius. You know, compared to the other Apexes, it's really good. But yeah, either way, I die. And that's that. Now, I got Waystone to SLL by this duck that I met on the game. It's really cool. It saved me a lot of time of having to travel across the map just to get to a hotspot and get some PvP. Yeah, as you know, in random areas you probably won't find as much people. You know, and if you do, usually it's solos and stuff. They're not gonna fight an Apex, especially something as strong as a Neo. And you can see the survivability on this thing is really good. Either way, I seen this raptor spawn in, took the chance, and that duck actually killed him, but I didn't get it. But yeah, now I seen another duck, and we're already 5 slots, so I don't need any more people. I don't want to make it a mega pack in any way, as that just wouldn't be fun, and it would kind of be rough on other players as 3 Apexes are really strong, especially a Neo and 2 ducks. So we decide to fight this duck, and you never know if this guy's a part of a big group that's coming over, and you know, maybe he's just the first one here, which might be the case because there's going to be a bunch of patches showing up. Either way, you can see he used his claw frenzy and I blocked it, and it instantly gave me all 5. So yeah, if you're a duck fighting an E-Wolf block as Hornlock, do not claw frenzy, because you're just going to give him all of his armor instantly, which was actually really nice. Either way, my friend went into the water to fight the other duck, and he already had the advantage as I already put a lot of damage on the duck. So you know, it was not much that duck could do. Either way, these patches kept kicking me. The knockback kind of puts off the rhythm, and it disturbs like some of the animations on your dino. So sometimes you can't even hit them back, or you can't turn while getting thrown up in the air. Either way, a Meg came around and started helping us out, and same thing as before, I'm not going to go around chasing a Meg trying to kill this guy, as it's just not going to happen, and I already have enough patches here. At the same time, those guys were overpacking in a way, but it literally doesn't matter. I don't mind if people overpack by just a little bit, as long as it's a fair fight, you know, to make it more interesting. But yeah, either way, that Meg put in a bunch of work, and he actually killed a bunch of patches, and he was fighting this Achillo, and we helped him out a little bit, to be fair, you know. And this Achillo comes down, and I catch him while he's down. You can see the Meg ends up dying of full damage. But yeah, either way, I seen this Apache. I don't know, he was like looking up in the sky, and I just charged him. And if he could have easily just moved out the way and, you know, survived that. He didn't have to die. But yeah, maybe he was just a little bit zoned out. Anyway, there's I'm fighting a Latin and 2 Dasps that I think previously were fighting a Spino and a Sarco. But yeah, and I thought these guys were using Piercing Bite, but he was using the Bone Break and Shatter, which didn't really make sense. And you can see this guy uses a Raw as well to help increase their fracture damage and Bone Break. And yeah, the great thing about block is you can pretty much instantly hit as soon as you've done blocking, which makes it a great hit and don't get hit dino, which is just amazing. You're already tanky, and with this it just makes it great. And going back to block, why it's so good is because you know you don't really have anything to protect your back very well against dinos. So you know you have a great precise turn, and then you have block, which are you know, so you just precise turn. You're not always going to be able to catch people, but you know it's a lot more efficient than having to you know, just don't have anything at all. Like the tail attack, there's practically nothing. So at least when you're getting ridden, tail ridden, you're not taking a lot of damage, which is great. Compared to, you know, taking full body damage, which you never want to be doing on a Neo. But yeah, and you're gonna see, especially at the end of the video, I mean, I get jumped by a massive group and I just survive for like 8 minutes because of the block is so good. Only problem I have with the Eo is its kill potential isn't actually great, unless you manage to charge someone and catch them a little bit off guard. And also just if they make a big enough mistake or get stuck on something, then you know, then you're going to be able to kill them pretty easily. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty hard because you don't have a bone break or anything. Honestly, makes sense. But yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be just a defense dino. Either way, I mean, you have decent offensive capabilities anyway. But yeah, anyway, this Sedao was trying to team up with me, and I just, you know, I don't really want a mix pack. Obviously, it happened with the Meg, but that was, you know, a lot more people around. So yeah, I try not to. But yeah, either way, I put the guy low. I mean, it's not really a fight that he can win solo. But yeah, and the Sark on the Spinal Wall land, and I charged him. Is yeah, I just went for it, even though it was a far distance. I wanted to see if I could kill these guys. But yeah, and I just came up, barely shot. I started fighting this. I should have blocked here, but yeah, I messed up a little bit. Also, you can't block while you're sprinting, so keep that in mind. But yeah, and also I'm not fighting these guys to kill these guys. I'm just fighting them to fight them. And why did I say that? Because at any point these guys can jump in the water, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's not like the eels are semi-aquatic, you know. But yeah, and I'm not sure if that blocked or not. Sometimes it's a little bit glitchy. I'll press the button and I get a little bit lag, and it comes a little bit later, so I end up taking unnecessary damage sometimes. But yeah, and this Serato tries to charge into me, or what's it called, shoves into me, which is a very bad idea. Is, you know, you're not doing a lot of damage, I'm doing plenty. And he also gets stuck here, and I charge him here, and honestly I think he just panicked a little bit. He should have just kept, he should have turned, and I just would have went right past him. Especially with shove, you can get out of the way easily. But yeah, if that guy just moved out of the way, I wouldn't have killed him. Either way, I asked this Rex to 1v1 in the chat. He said yeah, which was actually really cool, so we got to 1v1. That was really nice. So even though I don't have a damage build, that doesn't mean I can't win against a Rex. I just have to tail ride this guy and not get bone broke, which is pretty easy, honestly. Is that Rex has got a really bad turn radius, and even when this guy bone breaks me, then I'll just block and you know, just whatever high damage he's able to do, then I'll just block it and take pretty much none. Also, I was trying to get my armor activated by getting this guy to hit me on the head, but it wasn't really working. And you can see he pops his voice call, and here I definitely don't want to be taking damage, because the voice call that he uses, I forgot the name of it. I think it's Carnage or something like that. Or Rampage, sorry. And the lower you are on health, the more damage you do. So yeah. And you can see I put this guy pretty low already. So yeah. Now this Meg got in the way, but he didn't really do anything. So it's not like that Meg was gonna save me or him from the result. Either way, I killed the guy and said GG, as it was a great fight. You don't see it often. Anyway, my friend was on Apache and he caught the CEO and he put a bunch of damage on him, so I could easily win this fight. I'm pretty sure we were running the identical build anyway. So yeah. Same thing as before. I don't have space to team up with the CEO. So I just want to kill him, and you never know if he's a part of a bigger group. And my friend just pushes for no reason and dies. But yeah, I mean, technically now I can team up with this guy. But also there's no point, he's just killed my friend. So yeah. Yeah, I just don't want to be in a mega pack, because then people just don't take fights, and yeah, it's just not fun. Either way, I kill the EU pretty easily. Also, I want to go back on something. The Stego from earlier, he was on debuff, and if you're wondering why my friend was low, it's because me and him 1v1. He just thought he could kill an EO on Apache, and I told him there's no way he's going to be able to kill me. And yeah, you can imagine how that went for him. As you can see, he was one hit. Either way, surprised that Stego didn't try and run away. I mean, he did, but he just kept doing circles. And I thought it was more than a minute, honestly, so I was surprised he was still fighting. I thought he was off a debuff. Anyway, going back to this, these guys had like 5 circles, something like that. Obviously there was some in the water that you didn't see, but these guys just wouldn't fight me, and then they got the courage to finally do it. And honestly, these circle players aren't the best, and honestly it's really hard to fight a E-Wolf block on big dinos like this that are really clunky and get stuck on you. So I mean, it's great for me, not great for them. You know, when you can see I'm just putting on damage, blocking whenever they get behind me, and you can see there's a Rex here now. This was the same Rex that 1v1'd earlier, but he didn't do anything, he was just here. Now I didn't want to start fighting the Rex and 3 sickles. That's not really a winnable fight for me, that's certain death. Either way, I switched server as there was just a mega pack there, and you know, no one was fighting each other, and it's really a waste of time. So I switched server, and I spawned in, and there was a mega pack here, but it was small things, so I could actually fight it. It's not like Apexes. But yeah, either way, I start fighting these guys. Try and block and stuff. There's a few times where I charge like this, and I just I should have timed it better. I should have waited for a better opportunity to do it too, because I just wasted stamina and the charge. So yeah, either way, you can see I'm putting up a decent fight, and unlike a lot of other Apexes, I haven't put myself to a wall yet or water, as I just want to keep it out in the open. It's because I feel like it's more entertaining to watch, and this also gives the small stuff a chance. And honestly, when you put yourself up against a wall or near water, people will switch to an Apex and then just kill you, or a bunch of Apexes and kill you. Yeah, so it's just more to watch. I think it's just more entertaining to watch, and it's more fun as well, as I just don't like really sitting up against the wall the whole time. Yeah, so just sort of all around better. But you know, obviously when I get to like 10-15% HP, then I'll start doing that a little bit more, as you know, you just can't really do anything at that point, and you want to just put up the best fight you can. But yeah, and I also don't put myself all the way through, you know, just to give them that chance to get behind me. But it doesn't really matter, because of the block is that good. You can see this guy pounces onto me, and I just block while he's pounced, so I'm not really taking that much damage. And this fight goes on for a while, but going back to this thing's kill potential, it's not great. I'm not fast, I don't have bone break, I just do damage, and I'm pretty tanky. But that's about it. And it's also very difficult against these guys to get my armor buffs, because none of these guys are going to be trying to come at me head first like an Apex would, and these guys aren't also just all aping me at the same time. So they played it decent, and yeah, once again I charged, which was a mistake. Another thing I want to talk about is the Apache's knockback is crazy, and it needs to be nerfed. Now why do I say this? Because literally patches will kick you on flat ground, literally flat ground will kick you up into the air and you will take fall damage, which is so stupid. I mean, it's so annoying. It literally happens to me here, and yeah, really annoying. Please fix it. The patches shouldn't be doing such crazy knockback. But yeah, the only time you see me get a bunch of my armor buffs, and you can see there, like, same as the Picno, what is this? Why am I just being thrown into the air and taking fall damage? Like, it's so stupid. Yeah, either way, going back to the blocks, the only time I would get it off is when these guys got overconfident, or if one of them pounced on me on the front side and then started biting while I'm blocking, just gave me armor, which they didn't know. Yeah, but either way, you can see these guys switch out, you know, they heal up. That's the kind of problem with Apexes, because you're so slow, you don't really have that much kill potential realistically. You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? You just have to watch that while they sit down, heal on top of rocks and away from you, and you can't do anything about it. So, you know, they heal up, someone keeps me in combat, you know, I'm not gaining anything, they're gaining their health back. So yeah, you know, and you know, they just keep bringing more stuff as well. I mean, you're gonna see they just keep bringing stuff. So there's not really like a proper great fight, obviously, but the only way I'm gonna kill someone is if I get a charge on them while they're already low, or if they get stuck on something, which there's nothing here for them to get stuck on. So yeah, I could have always went to the water and made it very difficult. Like, honestly, when you put yourself up against the water, I mean, good luck trying to do something against an Apex, especially as a bunch of small dinos. But I thought to myself, that's really not fun, and I also just don't know what else is about in SLL. You know, maybe they've got a wreck somewhere or a circle in the water, never know. But yeah, I should be trying to block these heavy hits from the Picno, which I do later on, a little bit too late though. But yeah, and that Picno actually takes damage every time he hits me with that, and it does recoil damage as well. But yeah, you know, I put up a long fight, and you can see I block both of these. I can like start getting what this guy is doing, and I block both of those. But the problem is it does knockback, which you know, like, he gets those 2 hits, gives him an armor increase, but I don't get to hunt back. I think that the game needs to change a little bit from having everything has knockback, which is really annoying. Especially patches and Picnos. I mean, why does the Picno need so much knockback? Understand knockback, but knockback with high damage is really annoying. So yeah, and also you just see a lot of people cliff baiting, which is also annoying. But yeah, and yeah, these guys have just got these crazy knockback builds that literally lift you up into the air, and you know, you take fall damage on flat ground. So yeah, also there's just nothing I can do about these guys getting behind me besides block and precise turn, and then also put myself up against a wall or up near water. But yeah, there's so many of them that it's hard to keep up with all of them. Yeah, I try and put up a good fight, but even with a great build, you kind of need something smaller with you. And I mean, this is also just like a mega pack of people. I mean, they're mixed packing, overpacking. I mean, what else? I mean, the only thing that they needed to do at this point is just bring an Apex. I mean, that's really it. Yeah. So, but you can still see, I mean, any other build that you would run on Neo would not be surviving this long. So yeah. But yeah, these guys just keep ping-ponging me around the whole place. There's not much I can do. I feel like block should stop people from knocking you back. But yeah, that's just me. Yeah, really annoying, but it is what it is. That was it.